Hey James, how are you? Glad to be back. Appreciate the time and really excited to get into some topics today and really looking forward to some of the value add and information you can share with us and our viewers.
So Talk of the Town, great name. We did a lot of reels, a lot of social media these past year, 2 years, 3 years. What's brought it to Talk of the Town?
Honestly, Talk of the Town, great idea. It's something that, our great marketing team has really kind of fed us and said, you guys have put out great content and we have an idea for what can you do to continue to be a value add. And I think as a people-focused, purpose-driven firm, our main goal is to be a value add to our customer, to our internal customer, and really to bring light to situations, topics, that are going on in our industry today. So we're really hoping that this is a glimpse into not only town housing and what it is here at this company for our salespeople and our management team, but also what are the current topics of the day and what's our opinion on those? What is some of the things we're doing to navigate it? So really exciting that this is a new go at a nice new twist on marketing here for us. And for yourself, what is it? What's your main goal for this podcast?
So I love real estate, right? I'm just full on real estate. I've loved it for years. And I almost like to be on the front lines, right? Whether it's selling, going to Albany and lobbying, being, part of these NAR lawsuit conversations, whatever those type of topics that are happening right now, I'm all over it. I'm researching it. I'm talking about it. And obviously I'm bringing it back to the team. I love this platform to really get it out there. So that way we really have that. This is what's going on with the NAR lawsuit. This is what's going on with good cause eviction. This is what's going on with these grant money that you can achieve as a landlord. And it gives a great platform to really get out there to help the investments at town housing as well as the agents at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm excited to see, what kind of topics we come up with, you and I and our team along the way. I know we plan to have guest speakers pop in, pop out, and hopefully anyone who watches this will chime in the comments below on topics of concern and question, and we'd love to answer those. So really looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Now, I was thinking about kind of the past and what brought us to here today. You started Towne in 2012. I kind of jumped in 2019, and we started partnering up. But from 2012 to 2019, you had a lot of growth. Started building up the construction company, the leasing, full-blown property management when I got in there. And even since then, it's really still taken off. But kind of bring me back. What did it look like in 2012? How'd you get started, and what brought you to when we finally became partners?
Yeah, absolutely. 2012 didn't look like too much, honestly. It was pretty humble beginnings, small operation. We had started, my father and I, really getting into real estate investing. He had owned some properties, him and my mother. And then from there, we really started to look at, dilapidated buildings, particularly in North Tonawanda. Did a lot of work to those and kind of turned these, rundown 4 units into nicer property. BRRRR method before BRRRR was like this big deal. So, we were kind of doing that long ago. Started to build out the portfolio, and through that, I got my real estate license and was selling real estate through 2011, right into opening Towne, and got into a point where it just needed to either find a property manager or go at it myself. And, after a little bit of deliberating, I ended up setting up shop, and shortly thereafter got my broker's license, and, 2 properties turned into 4, turned into 10. One maintenance guy turned into 2, turned into 3, and the ball just kept rolling. So it's been an interesting 12 years now. So.
And I think about it, I hear all the time people that have their own investment portfolio, like, I'm going to start my own property management company, just like you said, because I have 10, 12, 15 units. But nothing ever becomes what you built it to be, right? Now you have, thousands of units or over 1,000 units under management. They never get that big. How did you were you able to go from kind of self-managing to bringing on clients to be able to have that growth that you see now?
Honestly, some of it was a mistake. I was going to be an airline pilot, and I just kind of decided that real estate was more the route I wanted to go and the pace of life I wanted to live. Got into real estate with the intent of property management because I wanted to own a large investment portfolio. So I knew that at one point that infrastructure would be needed. Got into real estate investing, started to sell some real estate. And the minute I could get my broker's, license, that's exactly what I did with that intent. So, Towne was built off of many years of planning and strategy. It wasn't necessarily the only solution to a problem. It was a goal. And, as it started to gain traction, a lot of friends and family did come in to support, and, some invested in real estate with me. Others had property that they, entrusted to me. And, it was really exciting to see that come to fruition. Did have a couple benefactors, I think, as all successful people do along the way, who really supported Towne and saw value in a young guy with some spunk and a vision. And, people fortunately, God willing, hired us, and it went really well. And to this day, we carry forward that, intent to provide a good service, and my whole team, all my employees really have that mindset. So that, even to this day, is what continues to give birth to our growth, is just an intention to be a value add.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting trip, honestly, but I really enjoy it. And then in comes sales. So for yourself, I know we partnered back in 2019. I know you also own a lot of real estate, and you're multifaceted and diversified. Tell me a little bit about, what your focus on sales was, because I think a lot of people ask me when, like, what is James doing? What do you do? And I'm like, well, not to make it sound like two companies, but I'm the construction management, and he's the broker and sales side. So, what was it about that really drew you to it?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. My start was very similar to you, but then I changed. And the reason that is, I also want to start a property management company. I want to self-manage, and I want to start a property management company. And I started taking on other clients, and I absolutely hated it. I love managing my own properties.
Taste. Very acquired.
But dealing with other people, I don't know, hard to sleep at night. I mean, I just did not like managing for other people. It just wasn't kind of my forte. I just love managing my own assets. And that's when you and I met, and you're like, I love property management. I'm like, well, I like the sales aspect that I'm doing with my current company, but I don't like that. And that's where I think our marriage really kind of went really well, because you just love that property management. You owned it. You did it extremely well. And I love the sales. I've been a salesman my entire life. My first job when I was 2015, I was selling skis and ski boots in Decterbrunn ski shop in Ellicville, right? So I just always learned how to be sales. I learned sales from him.
Well, you're from the South Towns.
Yeah.
So that's hometown. That's like the first entrepreneurial go. Yep. It made sense. That was your market.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when I was able to go to Geico, I also ran a sales team there, learned a lot of techniques, a lot of managing and supporting people to become sales people in the insurance world, and then comes sales for a brokerage. It fit everything I've done up to that point, and I was able to do it, and that's where we were able to grow our sales department, right? From not on the map to right now, I think we're ranked 12th in all of Western New York out of like 275 brokerages. So
yeah, it's crazy. And people have asked, so like, how did that happen? Team effort, and I think it goes back to intent, and I think we were able to complement those two. So you own construction. You own a construction business too, right?
That's right. So we have about 3 crews going every single day, but the only other work on real estate that I own, except for some exterior things like siding and roofs for other people. So we used to do a lot of construction for other people, just like you do. You do a ton of work for other people. Yeah. And I found out I really enjoy working on my own real estate with the construction company, and just to kind of accumulate those rentals and do the birds similar to what you were doing. So we were able to build out that construction company to kind of support that growth on my real estate investments at the same time.
Awesome. How many properties you own now? Because I know you do a lot of short-term rentals too.
Yeah, I don't know how many properties I own, but I know how many units. So I have about 63 units right now. Of the 63 units, about 25 of them are short-term or mid-term rentals. So we have a little bit of diversity between the two, but definitely focusing on that short-term rental, just kind of as an asset class to diversify the entire portfolio.
Yeah. So safe to say a lot of synergies between the two of us. So, just to give the viewers a little perspective as to how you and I got to where we are and where we are together. So it's exciting to see it come to fruition. This year has already kicked off in a big way, in many ways, both, in our operation. I've seen, performance and new energy coming into the office on the sales side, and, the flood of new clients on the investor side are starting to take traction. I think once the sun starts shining, people get a little antsy, but it's really exciting to see it come to fruition. So a lot of changes in our industry. I think that's really the big push for, us talking and having these conversations is, obviously as a people-focused, purpose-driven firm, we're always looking out to bring value. And I think in this case, we're trying to be a value add, not just to our team, but to local real estate professionals, agents, whether they're newer or seasoned, but also investors locally and abroad. So excited to be having these conversations with you, and look forward to the topics ahead.
So.
Go.